Hi everybody, welcome back to the Lexus Virtual Classroom. I have some really exciting updates for you all about the 2025 and 2026 LX lineup. And if you're setting up your new Lexus, make sure to set up your primary driver profile before making any customizations. If you haven't done that yet, you can pause this LX features deep dive video and start with my multimedia deep dive tutorial. That will help you set up your profile, pair your phone for Bluetooth and Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Then you'll set up your driver position memory. Then you can either keep watching that tutorial to learn more about the multimedia system, or come back to this video and explore more of the buttons, bells, and whistles on the new LX. The LX is available in two models, the all-gas LX 600 and the performance hybrid LX 700H, and both have seating for up to 7 passengers. But you can get the LX Hybrid Ultra Luxury build that has seating for 4 with a special executive package in that second row. There's even an LX 700H Overtrail package that's designed for off-road capability that is available with either seating for 5 or 7. So we are going to incorporate some new video and some of the footage from our previous model and some other Lexus models that have similar features. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at the exterior of the vehicle. Headlamp washers are linked to windshield wiper operation and are operated when the headlamps are turned on. If they are in auto, then they would need to come on automatically. So in this case, we'll just turn them on now so that you can see how that works. Initially, when you first activate the windshield washer, you're going to also activate the headlight washers. So after 5 or 6 pulls, it's going to spray again. I prefer to do this while the vehicle's in motion so that that washer fluid can just stream away on its own. Parking sensors are located across the front, integrated into the new grille design, and across the rear bumper. There are 4 sensors at the front and 4 at the back. On the LX Hybrid, you may see some additional parking sensors on the corners of the front and rear bumpers. If your LX has 6 parking sensors across the front and 6 across the rear, that means your vehicle is equipped with advanced park. Now let's look at the fuel door. On the LX 600, you'll open it with a manual latch just inside on the lower left portion of the dash. Just lift to pop it open. On the hybrid version of the LX, you have an electronic release. You'll locate the button here. Just press to open the fuel door. And there's a great little storage spot for the cap. And a wheel lock kit. The wheel lock has a wave pattern on the lug nut. The towing mount is located behind the cover at the center of the rear bumper. Using the flathead screwdriver, go ahead and remove the 2 clips holding the tow hitch cover in place. Gently work the flathead screwdriver in between the housing and the center post of the clip. Just snap out, and then you can remove the clip. Gently pop the cover off. You'll see that there are 4 insert clips across the top and 2 on the side, and they all snap into place when you're ready to put it back on. If you're going to tow something, make sure to consult the owner's manual and instructions specific to towing. To put everything back on, just match up the trim so that you have everything going in the right directions. Line up the 2 hooks at the bottom, and then slide each hook into place. And make sure to press firmly until everything is secure. Then when you're ready to put these posts back into place, you want to make sure that the post is still pulled out, but don't remove it completely. It should be kind of snug. Then when you put this back in, you're going to snap it flush, and then it'll spread these prongs out and it'll hold it into place. Let's do that. So if you've snapped yours closed like I just did, just reopen it. There you go. And now we can put them back in place. All set. The LX comes with 3 electronic keys, 2 key fobs, and a card key. If you need to manually lock or unlock the vehicle, you'll use the mechanical key and the key cylinder. To locate the mechanical key, look for the word push on the side of the key, press the dot, and then release the mechanical key. One twist to the left will lock. One twist to the right will unlock driver's door only. A second twist to the right will unlock the whole vehicle. When you're ready to restore the mechanical key to the key fob, just make sure to insert until you hear a click. The Smart Access system operates all doors. Just keep your key on your person, in your pocket or a bag. Put your hand in the driver's door handle and it will unlock the driver's door only. It is customizable, so you can program that to unlock all doors if you prefer. Touching the indentation will lock the vehicle. And with the auto folding mirror feature turned on, you'll have a great indication that your vehicle is locked when your mirrors fold in. You can also unlock and lock from passenger doors. When you put your hand in the door handle of a passenger door, it's going to unlock the entire vehicle and lock. But you can also use the buttons on the key fob to lock, unlock, push and hold to operate the single panel power back door, or press and hold to sound the alarm. Now, if you're still using the alarm button to locate your vehicle in a parking lot, I highly recommend switching to the Find feature in the Lexus app. The system is not able to track the vehicle while it's in motion. It allows you to locate your Lexus in its last parked location. You can also use the key fob to remote start the vehicle. You'll use the lock button. Just press, press, press and hold. Just keep holding until you see the indicator lights flash. And then you'll see the vehicle start. You may even see the self-leveling headlights do their level check at startup. When you open the vehicle to unlock, the LX will now remain on. My favorite way to remote start is with the Lexus app. So just make sure that you're signed in to your primary driver profile in the app. You'll see your vehicle here, and then just touch and hold on the power or start icon. The first time that you use the remote start feature, you're going to see a message just telling you to make sure that you're in a safe, ventilated area. Once you read the message, you can choose Don't Tell Me Again, and then Continue. You don't have to give the command again. It is going to go ahead with our remote start command. Once the vehicle has been remotely started, you will see a countdown clock in the app here. A remote start cycle for the LX is 10 minutes. You can do 2 remote start cycles with the app or the key fob. After that, you do need to start the vehicle from inside, so just make sure that you have your key with you. When you're ready to enter the vehicle, the LX does now stay on, even if you enter the vehicle mid-remote start cycle. You'll see a message on the multi-information display letting you know the vehicle is not ready to drive. It does let you know you need to press the brake pedal and push the power or start button to start the vehicle. That means just like normal, you're going to apply the brake, press power or start. We're in a hybrid right now, so I just pressed the power button. Now the vehicle is fully on and ready to drive. And on the hybrid, you even see the ready light indicator. Now we could shift into gear and go for our drive. Let's come around to the rear of the LX. To open the rear door using the touch pads at the back of the vehicle, make sure you have your smart key on your person. There is a large rubber touch pad on the left, that's unlock, and a small rubber touch pad on the right. That will lock the vehicle. So to open the back door, just push the large pad on the left. You'll hear a beep, step back out of the way, and the door will open. You may also have a kick sensor on your LX to operate the rear door. It's located on the right-hand side instead of in the center because you do have towing capabilities and the tow hitch is located in the center. So as long as you have your smart key on your person, just kick and then step back a little bit when you hear the beeps so that the door has room to open. So easy to use, you can even kick to close. Listen for the beeps and step back out of the way so that the door has room to operate. Keep in mind that when you kick to close, it's going to close, but it's not going to automatically lock the vehicle. So either use the lock button on your key fob, the Smart Access lock buttons on the doors, or the Smart Access small lock button at the rear of the LX. But there is a setting that can be customized at your Lexus dealer service department that allows you to kick to close and then walk away, and it will close the back door and lock the vehicle. A couple of great things about this back door is that it is height adjustable. To adjust the height of the power back door, position the door at the height that you would like to save. Just press the button on the left, stop it where you want it, and then push and hold. Listening for those 4 beeps. If you'd like to reset it, push and hold. 4 beeps, keep holding, 2 more. 6 total beeps, now we're reset. Push the button, stop, push again, and it'll open back up to the max height. Just stop it where you want it, push and hold the button on the left-hand side, get those 4 beeps, and your new position is saved. If you'd like to push the button to close and automatically lock, you do need to walk away because it has sensors that detect the key. It's just gonna beep, it's waiting for me to get out of the way. We know the LX is locked because we have the auto folding mirrors turned on and they have folded in. If you have the optional digital rear view mirror, you'll have a camera mounted against the glass of the rear window. There are now a few different configurations for the rear cargo area. What you see when you open the rear door will depend on whether or not you have a 3rd row and whether or not you have the hybrid version of the LX. Some items are going to be universal, but the positioning of accessories may vary. For example, most LXs come with a cargo net accessory attached to a zip pouch. When you take a look at the tab that's clipped to the center section, you'll see 2 different hooks. Instead of hooking the back hook on, which won't actually hold anything in place, connect the front piece to the front center cord because it will actually hold on for you. Then you can attach the second hook to create separate pockets for cargo. And when you don't need to use it, you can just zip it up in the attached pouch. Unhook from the anchor points, roll it up, and zip it up. The lower hooks connect to D-rings at the floor of the vehicle. The hooks are plastic, so make sure that you take good care of them if you're going to remove the cargo net to store larger cargo in the back of the vehicle. There are 4 D-ring anchor points in the rear of the vehicle for cargo netting. If you have a small accessory cargo mat, whether it's carpet or an all-weather style mat, Make sure to locate the opening for the D-rings to push through so that you can secure any cargo net that you choose to use. You have tools and a small storage cubby located underneath the small cargo area at the very back of the LX600. Make sure to remove any cargo mat before you access the storage area. You'll see a tab at the center. Just lift up to open. Tools on the left, and the pouch with your wheel lock key is usually on the right hand side. The wheel lock key will fit the wave pattern of the wheel locks. If you don't see the wheel lock in the rear small storage area, it should be located in a pouch in the glove box. To remove the tools, just unhook the Velcro straps and then follow the instructions to slide the latch mechanism open. Make sure to reattach the straps. If you need to, you can loosen the strap, then clip it into place and cinch down. On vehicles with the 5-passenger setup, the easiest way to access the toolbox is by tumbling forward the driver's side passenger second row seat. Then you'll notice this little recessed area because this decking panel lifts up. So just lift up and then you'll see the toolbox and an additional storage cubby. You'll see the 2 hooks across the bottom. They just lift up and out of place. So if you'd like to remove this decking board, it's very easy to do so. So this example is an LX700 hybrid overtrail with the 3rd row. So you do have this new little storage platform. If you want to lift it up and out of the way, you'll notice that there are 2 little clasps on these feet. Just press up and this is going to instantly lift up. You can tuck these in and fold this down. The shelf is on a spring, so when you detach it from the floor of the LX Hybrid, it will easily stay up against the backs of the 3rd row seats, whether they are in the upright position for passengers or folded down. Then you have a little bit more storage area, not a lot, but these are also storage cubbies. So you'll see where it says pull. You're going to pull toward you. You've got tools for changing a tire located here and snap the cover into place. Now on this side, you have just a small storage area. It does have little tether straps. More than likely, they're going to be really tightened down. So if you want to use the straps, just make sure to pull to give yourself some slack and unclip in that bottom section. So you'll be able to extend the top section, but the bottom section is pretty short. So don't try to pull on that. It's not adjustable. All of your adjustment is going to be made with this top strap. When you don't want to use them anymore, just clip it up and tighten it down. Snap it into place and you're all set. Now keep in mind, all of this really is here to accomplish lifting the 3rd row up, because underneath this 3rd row is now this hybrid battery. So can this all come out? No is the answer. Are there different vents that you see now throughout the rear of the LX? Yes, and that is because it is going to work to keep that hybrid battery cool. So this lower section is also not removable. You'll see these little footwells. That's actually where the feet for this little shelf lock into place. You do have D-ring anchor points on both sides. But again, this is just going to stay flattened in place. And when you're ready to put your little shelf back down, you want to lower those feet. Otherwise, it's just hinged. So it's going to just flip back up. So just press. These will open up for you really easily. and then you are going to firmly press down and a little bit forward. And all that does is clip in these lower feet so that this is secure. All right, make sure that you do not discard. This is the bracket for your front license plates. You want to hold on to that. Your LX should also have a first aid kit located in the back. It is the hard shell case. Looking on the right-hand side in the cargo area, on the LX 600, you have a door that looks like it would be for a storage cubby, but it's actually a fuse box. So you won't be storing anything in here. If you open it, just make sure to hook the lower tabs in first and then snap it back into place. On the LX Hybrid, you still have a fuse box located here, but the access door is just smaller. This additional lower cover is not something you would usually remove yourself. It's a little tough to access and should really be removed by a Lexus technician to make sure that the attachment clips aren't damaged. You can still easily open the fuse box without removing the lower speaker and vent cover. When you look at the left side of the cargo area, you'll have different configurations depending on which LX you have. Located here on the LX Hybrid, you're going to have the cover for the 12-volt accessory battery. You will see a handle. Just pull away from the side panel and then lift up on the bottom. If you do ever need to jump your vehicle, please make sure to consult the owner's manual first so that you are jumping in the correct way to protect all of the hybrid components on the LX 700H. When you're ready to put the cover back, start by placing the bottom section first. Those hooks will just slide right into place, and then you can snap the top shut. The location of the jack is always pretty universal, just behind this panel. And in the LX600, you have a vented door that allows you to access the jack. It is hooked into place and tightened. It doesn't move and make noise when you're driving. So if you do remove the jack to use it, make sure that you restore it in the same way so that it will be quiet as you drive. When you're ready to put the cover back, start with the bottom points and snap it into place. You have a 120-volt AC outlet. On the LX600, you'll have the light that turns on automatically when the rear door is open, and they have a different style for the cargo light on the LX Hybrid, and it's located right here. And then you'll have different button configurations to operate power seats. The buttons are going to vary depending on which package you have on the vehicle. Now let's talk about seat operation, especially power seat operation. If you have a manually operated second row, you will just see power control buttons for the third row seats. If you have a power second and third row, you will see this setup. You have the option to fold down all seats simultaneously, or operate third row seating only, or second row seating only. To operate power seats, you'll see L for left and R for right. Second row seats can be power folded down, but they are manually folded up from the second row. The button that says All allows you to fold all seats down automatically. It does not restore the seats to the upright position. To restore the seats, power operate the third row and manually operate the second row. Before you operate the third row, you want to make sure that the seat belts are up and out of the way. They have a clip that the strap slides into, but you want to also stow the seat belt clip itself. So before you secure the strap, raise the seat belt clip up, slide the strap into place, and then slide the clip for the belt into place. Now everything will be out of the way to operate the rear seats, and it'll be more quiet when you drive. Make sure to do the same on both sides. If you just need a little additional room in the cargo area, the first press of the button to stow the seats will tilt them slightly forward. And then they'll stop. First press, giving you just a little bit of room, and you will not hear a beep at the end of that operation. To continue to stow them flat, push and hold. If the headrest was up, it will automatically fold for you. Raising both third row seats simultaneously. Once you've heard the beeps, you can let go of the buttons. Push and hold until the action is complete. If you let go at any point, you're going to hear an alarm. Push and hold. When you hear the 2 beeps, the operation is complete. The headrests are manually placed in the upright position. You can manually fold down the headrest. On the LX Hybrid third row seats, you'll see a small lever on the side to manually fold them down. When you take a look at the third row seating for the hybrid version of the LX, you'll notice that it is a little bit different. It is more of a bench configuration. It does have a fixed, small, flat storage tray, and you'll see that it's enclosed at the bottom, because remember that that hybrid battery is located below the third row, so they've lifted everything up in this more platform configuration for these third row seats. You can also operate power third row seats from inside the vehicle. L for left, R for right. Pushing down on the right hand side toggle to fold. And again, just hold until you hear the beeps. These controls are located on both sides of the vehicle. When you open the doors to the second row passenger cabin, make sure to note that you need to keep that door open on the side that you want to use the buttons for. So if you were to have somebody hop in, close the door, and then try to use the buttons, you're going to hear a sustained alert. You have to have the door open. They want to make sure that you know that you do not have anything or anyone in the third row seats before you fold them down. But they work in the exact same way. Just push and hold. And when you take a look at that seat, notice that the headrest is going to fold down automatically for you. So you can manually fold the headrest down before you fold your seats, or you can allow it to fold down for you. You do have to manually restore the headrest to their upright position if you have third cabin passengers, so make sure to do so. Rear cabin dome lights for the third row. Just give a push of the button to turn them on or off. Third row passengers can adjust the amount of recline for their seats. These buttons will not fold the seats flat. And they each have a USB-C charging port. There are also 2 cup holders on each side. Before folding the seats flat, it's always a good idea to store the seatbelt connectors nice and flat. The storage spot for the seatbelt is tucked behind the second row seats. Just lift up the seatbelt clip, slide the belt into place, and bring the clip down to hold it all together. To manually fold down the second row, use the handle on the outside of each outboard seat. Just lift up, and the seat will fold down and tumble forward. If lifting up on the large portion of the handle is not as easy for you, you can actually press back on this section of the handle instead, and it does the same operation. If you'd like to just fold the seat flat, lift up on the handle, and then when it begins to tumble forward, just press back down until it clicks into the latch in the floorboard. Just remember that once it's clicked into the latch in the floorboard, it's not possible to tumble it forward manually from this position. You will need to raise the seat back up and then lift the lever and let it fold and tumble all in one motion. To place the seat back down, simply press and click into place. And use the handle to do the same on the other side. Keep in mind that if you do have people coming through when the seats are tumbled forward, that they don't lock into place. If they're using the tumbled forward seat for leverage as they climb in, they need to be mindful that they don't bring the seat back down while they're coming through. You can push the left or right buttons to fold the second row seats, or you can push them at the same time. Push and hold, you'll hear the beep, and they'll fold down. If you have helpers in the third row, they can even raise the second row seat backs by themselves. And if they would like to fold the second row seats, they can do that also. The release for that is on the outside, and it's a lower handle that you have to pull toward the third row until the seat releases. And then it can fold down on the right and left-hand side. To raise the second row seats to their upright position, whether you have the optional power folding second row or the manually operated second row, just lift up on the shoulder of the seat until it clicks into place. Once it's clicked into the first position, you can adjust the tilt angle with the lever. Just lift up on the lever and tilt the seat shoulder back. To fold and tumble forward the power second row seats, you'll use the button on the shoulder at the top. In order for the seats to move forward, they might need to adjust the seat in front of them. You'll press and hold the button. The seat in front will move. When you hear the beeps, let go of the button, and it will fold and tumble forward. If you folded the seat flat and you forgot to use the button to tumble them forward, not to worry. Just push the button until you hear the beeps, and it will tumble forward from the folded position. The driver's side seat has an additional tether to secure it in place if needed. Open the storage compartment, locate the tether, and you will need to unhook the Velcro so that you can have more slack. When you squeeze the bottom section together, it allows you to have more slack. When you let it go, it clamps down. You're going to hook onto the outside handle, cinch the strap taut, and put the Velcro piece back together. This will help secure the seat behind the driver position if necessary. When you're ready to put everything back, undo the Velcro, squeeze to release the clamp, and get more slack if needed. Then you can unhook from the handle, line up the Velcro so that it stows properly. Otherwise, it might not all tuck away into that spot. So you're going to kind of accordion style the strapping. Then tuck that into the top of the hook. Then you want the hook position to be at the bottom so that the soft fabric is at the top. That just allows a little more room and give when you're putting it all away. To return the seat to the floor, just press and click into place. You can see the seat anchor points. That's what holds the seating in place when the seats are folded down. Now, if you are going to leave your seats stored up most of the time, you can actually remove these covers that pop off and they snap into the floor. I will tell you, they're not super easy to get off. And then if you are going to need your second row seats back in place, you've got to remember to remove those covers so that these clamps that attach to the anchor points don't break those covers. And we want to make sure that your seats are anchored correctly. The seats that tumble forward behind the front passenger seat do not have a tether to hook into place. They have a spot for it, but that's really for other countries that have right side drivers. Second row headrests are adjusted manually. Just locate the latch on the right side post. So just put your fingers underneath the headrest, push that in, and then you can lift up even to remove it, or adjust the height slightly. It's not a big adjustment, but it is a little bit. You can lift up on the middle headrest to snap that into place. And notice that the center headrest has 2 release points and longer posts. And in the LX600, you can even create a pass-through with the release for the center section. Here's how. With the bench seat configuration, it can fold in a 40-20-40 split. That means that the center section can be folded independently of the outside main seats. The lever for that is located on the seat back below the center headrest. Make sure that you don't have any cargo or any people, for that matter, in the center seat section, because it does come down pretty quickly. Just lift the clasp and it will go zipping down. If you're locating that lever from the second row, you'll need to come up and over the headrest, and then you can have better control of that center section as it folds down. On the hybrid version, the second row has a 60-40 split, so that center section does not fold down independently of the outboard seats. Second row air conditioning vents above both doors and at the footwells for the main seats. Rear cabin dome lights. Just give a push of the button to turn them on or off. When door mode is activated at the front of the vehicle, all dome lights will turn on when a door is opened. The ambient lighting with the customizable themes also appears along the second row door trim and door handles. Second row sunshades. When you're raising and lowering the sunshade, you want to use the tab at the center, lift up so that you have room to move it off or on the hook. And when you lower it, it will stow all the way into place, so it's nice and flush. You can fold the armrest down, pop open the cubby for cup holders, or click it closed, or stow it up. Taking a look at the controls in the second row for the rear cabin passengers, a really cool detail is that they have access to the center console to reach things in the cool box. Coming down to our central air conditioning vents, you can close or open and adjust the tilt angle. Seat fan or heat for the left side passenger. The first press turns on auto to take over control. For manual adjustment, high, medium, or low. Press again for off. And the same for heat. The first press will go to auto, so if you press heat and it turns the fan on, press heat again and the heating element will engage. Just remember that the auto feature is considering the selected interior cabin temperature and the outside ambient temperature to make adjustments. So just take over if you prefer a different setting. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. If you try to adjust temperature and you don't see it change on the screen, it just means that the rear cabin air is not turned on. You can control that from the front screen or right at the back, just by engaging the fan. Less fan, click down. More fan, click up. Once the fan is on, you can adjust left side passenger temperature and right side passenger temperature. You can also adjust the fan mode just by pushing the mode button, and it will cycle through all of the available airflow modes, or you can turn the fan to auto and it will adjust not only fan speed but airflow mode automatically based on the selected temperatures for the rear cabin and outdoor temperature. Coming down, we have a compartment for all of the inputs for charging. You have a 12-volt accessory charger, 2 USB-C port chargers. Just press down and the door will close for you. If your LX has the rear entertainment system, you'll have 2 buttons for pairing the wireless headphones and an HDMI port for connecting wired devices. Taking a quick look at the rear entertainment system, power. You can click the hard button for source or click right on screen. Just click reorder if you would like to change the order of the items that you see. Touch the item that you want and just swipe to drag it to the other page. Not all items can fit on the first page. One item has to be on the second page. So just pick the item that you know for sure you're not going to use from the rear of the vehicle and touch and drag until you've got it where you want it. Then click OK. Choose your source. If it's an audio source, you can click Tune to tune to the next available signal. Use the channel arrows to sort through radio favorites that have been saved at the front of the vehicle. Everything operates with touchscreen and it's very simple to use. You can separate the audio from the main vehicle audio by clicking Audio Separate. At the top right corner of the screen, if it says Audio Synchronize, that will allow the sound to come through the entire vehicle. If you choose Separate, then it will allow the sound to come through the headphones only. Additional settings: you can turn the screen off by clicking Screen Off or by powering off from the hard button on the lower right-hand corner. Another way to get to audio output for separate or synchronized. Customize the brightness and contrast of the display. To have the brightness and contrast of the rear displays be independent of the front display, deselect synchronized for the display appearance. You can select light or dark mode for the rear entertainment screens, while the front screen has its own setting. Pretty cool. Accessibility will offer voice guidance at 3 levels: soft, normal, or loud. If you'd like to turn that off, just click to toggle off. And then all of the licensing information can be viewed here. Let's take a look at the Mark Levinson wireless headphones that come with the LX with the rear entertainment system. They are pretty amazing headphones. It may be tempting to pair them to your phone, but it's important to pair them to the rear entertainment system first, because these headphones will automatically look to connect to the very first device that they've been paired with. The headphones do come in a really nice case, which will be great for storage, and you'll have a USB-C charging cable with each set. On the headphones, you have a USB-C charging port, volume controls, and the power button. We're going to use the power button on the headphones and the button on the console to get them paired. The LX must be turned on, so you have power to make that happen. Let's check it out. Just press the button on the side that you would like to start syncing up. You're going to enter the pairing mode. It's going to flash repeatedly back and forth, blue and red. Then push and hold the button on the headphones that you would like to connect. They're both flashing. If both lights continue to flash and you aren't sure if the headphones are paired, just press and hold the power button on the headphones to turn them off. You'll see a solid red light on the car here, letting you know that the headphones are off, but that something has been successfully paired to the system. Press and hold the power button again on the headphones to check and see the pairing status. When you turn on a headset that's been paired to the vehicle, push and hold just a few seconds. You'll hear a tone if you have the headsets on, and you'll know that they have been synced because you'll see that solid blue light on the console button and a periodically flashing blue light on the headset. If you don't see a light at all on one side or the other, that means a headset has not been paired to that side. Some Android phones have Miracast, and even most Windows laptops have that feature. But make sure to check your device for compatibility before you want to use it on the rear entertainment system in your LX. Open the source menu on the rear entertainment screen and select Rear Miracast. Then take a look at your smartphone, and you may need to launch settings to access the Miracast software on your Android device. If so, just follow the steps on screen to pair and connect. You'll be able to mirror the content from your phone on the rear entertainment screen. Apple products have a variety of third-party apps that claim to be compatible for using Miracast, but we had varying degrees of successful connection with third-party apps. The best way we found to connect to an iPhone or an iPad was with the HDMI cord. Plug in your device, you'll select Rear HDMI from the Rear Entertainment Screen source menu, and then launch your content right on screen. You'll find that some apps will allow you to operate the app or the content on the touch screen or to use your phone as a mouse. It just depends. You can open your favorite apps to stream video or TV, watch your favorite content from YouTube, your favorite news, shop, play games, you name it. Laptops and personal computers can also be connected with the rear HDMI cable. Just make sure to select the right cable for your device. Just keep in mind that apps and websites are always changing, so their operation in the vehicle might change too. If your smartphone is already connected to the vehicle for your driver profile, make sure to use a separate device for the rear entertainment system. For example, it's not possible for a phone to support wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto for your driver profile and the main screen at the front of the vehicle and to simultaneously stream content or mirror content to the rear entertainment system. And the most important tip for the rear entertainment system, there is an ultimate veto power on the front screen. You can lock out the controls for the rear entertainment system through the settings on the main screen at the front of the vehicle. Just select Sources and scroll to the bottom of the list and you'll see Rear Seat Entertainment. Just touch to open, just toggle to lock out the rear screen controls or unlock so that they can control their own screen settings, but you'll have the ability to turn them on or off with the power toggle. Notice that when they're on, you have the ability to synchronize the content or separate the content, and then you can play two different things depending on your source. When storing cargo in the back of the vehicle, even installing child safety seats, Make sure to be very careful with how far back you adjust the front seats so that you don't inadvertently damage the screen of your rear entertainment system. All 3 second row seats on the bench seat configuration have top tethers for child safety seats. Both outboard second row seats have latch, the lower anchor points for child safety seats. To use child locks to prevent the rear cabin doors from being opened from the inside, just slide the toggle down. To allow rear cabin passengers to open the back doors, make sure the child door lock is in the up position. We are ready to move into the front cabin of your new LX. And if you're setting up your new Lexus, make sure to set up your primary driver profile before making any customizations. And now you can start customizing all kinds of things. The most important, of course, is going to be your driver position memory. Each saved driver profile can use all 3 driver position memory buttons. Make sure your profile is active. Go ahead and adjust your seat position. Forward, back, hip point up or down, raise or lower the front part of the seat cushion, and then extend the thigh support or retract. You can recline the seat back or bring it forward. You can also adjust lumbar support. But keep in mind that lumbar is not saved with driver position memory. You can even raise or lower the position. To adjust the steering wheel, we do need to have the vehicle turned on. The steering wheel can tilt and telescope. Just use the toggle on the side of the steering column to move it away, toward you, down, and up. To adjust the side mirrors, select L for left or R for right, and then use the touchpad to get the position that you prefer. Once you have your seat, steering wheel, and side mirrors in the position that you prefer, press Set, let it go, and press your number, and then you'll hear a beep. There's also an auto save feature for your driver position. So if you are driving and maybe you're on a long trip or something and you adjust your seat position, when you put the vehicle in park, it is going to memorize the last position that you drove in. So if you hop back in the car and you feel like the seat's a little bit different from your normal daily driving position, make sure your profile is active on the system and then just push the button to recall your driving position. Even though the headrest position is not part of the driver position memory, it's good to know that the headrests are adjustable. The headrests are not only adjustable up and down, but you can move them forward and back. So to do that, you're just going to lift up, you'll hear a click, and then you can bring the headrest toward you. And when you bring it all the way to the front, it will retract back. So you can just make a small adjustment forward or back. And then you can adjust the height. When you want to bring it down, you'll use the little tab here on the side and just press and lower. You can press the button on the right to power fold the mirrors in or out. But a great tip, if you've power folded the mirrors in, instead of pushing the button again to open them, push the auto button. They will open and engage auto mode. To turn auto folding mirrors on, make sure you see the green light. When the auto folding mirrors are turned on, the mirrors will fold in automatically when you lock your Lexus. If you have a light on either mirror control button, that means the mirrors will tilt in reverse. Apply the brake and shift into reverse. You'll see the mirrors tilt down. The tilt angle of the mirrors while reversing is customizable. To customize the tilt angle, select the mirror that you would like to adjust. Use the touchpad to make your adjustments, then put the vehicle back into park. The mirrors will restore to the position that you set for your driving angle. Shift back into reverse to confirm the new setting. If you don't want the mirrors to tilt in reverse, just deselect so that you don't have a light on either button. Taking a look at the other buttons in the driver's door handle, you can lock out passenger operation of windows or allow the passengers to operate the windows. You can lock the vehicle or unlock, and then window button operation. Taking a look at the buttons on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our view monitor button. The panoramic 360 monitoring system uses multiple cameras located around the vehicle. One at the front under the Lexus logo, the rear backup camera, and one camera under each side mirror. Shifting into park, pushing the view monitor button, we have a full 360 overview, and we have settings available in the settings menu bar on the left-hand side. We can click the X to close out, or click on the vehicle to change the view to a see-through view or overhead. We can pause and play. You can also just click on the screen to pause and play if you're wanting to get a better look at a particular spot. Our final item in the menu is the setting shortcut. Clicking on settings, and we come to our camera view multi-terrain monitor settings screen. When you click on that, you're able to make additional setting customizations for the camera view. You can turn on and off cornering view. You can turn on and off the view underneath the vehicle. Now, there aren't actually cameras underneath the vehicle, but you'll have a see-through view. You'll see the ghosted image on the left-hand side where it looks like we have an undercarriage view from our camera monitoring system, and the system stitches together images from the cameras to make it look like as you're passing over something, you're seeing what's underneath the LX. It's actually capturing footage from progressing forward or back and stitching those images together. It's a really cool technique. The Lexus Park Assist 3D display can also be turned on and off. You can customize the distance for your parking sensors to start recognizing an object. You can select near or standard for the front and rear of the vehicle. Just push OK to confirm your selection. Near the camera lens under the side mirrors, you'll also see something that looks like a sensor. It's actually a near invisible light that helps the system to see objects at night, and these lights are referred to as parking assist lighting. So it's like night view for your parking assist system that helps images to be projected onto the camera screen even at night. You can also customize the vehicle body color that shows up on screen. Just pick the color that you prefer to match your vehicle and select OK. Click Camera View with the left-facing arrow to return to our camera view screen. And now let's shift into Drive and let me show you what that looks like. If your camera monitoring system does not automatically turn on, push your View button on the left-hand side of your dash, below your air conditioning vent. We have additional settings available in our left side menu. You have your overhead view on the left-hand side. The right-hand side view can be customized by clicking the second item on the screen. You'll be able to click for a more narrow view. If you press the View Monitor button again, it will toggle you through to that narrow view, turn off the View Monitor, and back on. It's like using this setting soft button or the X to close out. You're just toggling through with the hard button instead. When you're in the narrow view and you begin to turn the wheel, the system will pull back to show you more information. You'll also see the icon change in the menu bar on the left-hand side. When the wheels are straight, you'll go back to the selected straight ahead view. Most people prefer the full view and the view that includes the dynamic lines moving forward. You can customize the lines that show by clicking on the Line Settings menu item in the middle of the menu screen on the left-hand side. To have your camera view come up automatically, just click on the Auto icon. Click again. If you see a line coming through the automatic selection, then you will have canceled the automatic mode, so it won't turn on unless you press your View Monitor button. Most people prefer to leave the setting in auto. When you get up to about 7 miles per hour, your camera view will turn off and the screen will restore to whatever it was that you had on previously. Once again, we have a shortcut to our camera view settings screen at the bottom left of the menu. Taking a look at the backup camera, we have our menu bar on the left-hand side. You can toggle through view options for the large right side screen, either a wide view or a more straight back view. You can customize the backup camera guidelines. When you see the blue turn angle lines with the red line, that's just giving you an indication if you were to turn your wheel all the way to the left or all the way to the right, what your intended path would be. And the red line is letting you know you're pretty close to your bumper, probably about 6 inches. Just select to toggle through. You can hide all lines except the red line. Toggle again, and this view allows you to have the dynamic intended path or turn angle lines. You also have a dynamic center line. That's the green dashed line that you see on the right-hand side. The default view has dynamic yellow turn angle lines and blue straightaway lines. So the red line and the yellow lines will move with you, indicating your intended path. So to make sure that your wheels are straight, just line up the dynamic lines with the static blue lines, and then put the vehicle in park. And of course, we have the shortcut back to our settings menu at the bottom of the menu bar, coming back to the buttons on the left-hand side of the dash. Odometer and trip meter button. You'll see your odometer readout here. Just press and release the ODO trip button to toggle through trip A, trip B. Press again, and when you see a wrench, that's letting you know how many miles you have before your next oil change. Keep in mind that you will service every 5,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first, but you usually don't need to do an oil change that frequently. That's usually every 10,000 miles or once per year. We'll press again, and we're right back to our odometer. If you would like to zero out a trip, just open that item and push and hold the odometer trip meter button, and it will clear. Just press and release and push and hold to clear trip B. Then just press and release to cycle through until you're on the information you'd like to view. The arrow buttons control the brightness of the lights on the gauge cluster. In fact, that's what this icon represents, a gauge with a light bulb. Just press the up arrow to increase and the down arrow to decrease. Coming down, for our button to operate the power back door, from inside, push and hold the power back door button. If it beeps and doesn't open, it just means that the back door is locked. Go ahead and press the unlock button in the driver's door handle. Push and hold again to close. When the power back door is operating, you'll see an indicator on the dash. When the operation is complete, it will clear. The next button you see in this spot will depend on which LX you have. On the hybrid, you'll see the button to turn on the power to the AC 120 volt outlet in the cargo area. And on the all-gas LX, you don't need a button to turn on the power outlet because it will come on automatically when the vehicle is running. On the all-gas LX600, you'll see the button to turn off the auto engine stop-start feature. Just push the button to disable that feature for this particular drive. You'll see the icon here letting you know that the feature has been turned off for that drive cycle. Lexus now has a stop-start feature to cycle the engine off when the vehicle is at idle. That means when you come to a stop in your LX, the engine will turn off if it can continue to support the climate control system and any of the other accessories that you have operating on the vehicle. When you begin to lift your foot off of the brake, the gasoline engine comes back on. And because there's no interruption to any of the other features that you're operating on your vehicle, especially climate control, it's not going to always shut off. It's only going to shut off if it can. It is about improving fuel economy and reducing noise pollution when the vehicle is at idle. This message that you see on screen is not part of the auto engine start-stop feature. This is another automatic shut-off safety feature that you might see a message about. If you are sitting with the engine idling, it will automatically shut off after 1 hour. Or you can use the arrow buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. Just arrow down to select no, and then press the OK button to confirm. That means you're telling the vehicle you know you plan to sit for more than 1 hour and you would like the vehicle to remain on. Or just go for your drive and the message will clear. Coming down just below, you'll see the controls for the trailer brake feature. This is the gain control for trailer braking with a trailer that has compatible electric brakes. And once you have your hitch installed, attach your trailer and connect the 7-pin cable. If your trailer is equipped with trailer braking, go ahead and make the brake type selection on the main screen. You'll do that by going to Settings, Vehicle Customize, Utility, and Brake Type. Make your selection and then press OK. Next, you're going to need to adjust the gain to the midpoint. When you're ready to adjust the gain, you do need to locate the trailer brake monitor screen on your multi-information display. Press the plus or minus buttons to increase or decrease until you see that you're at 5. Then you need to be prepared to drive for a few minutes at 25 miles an hour while you adjust the feel and fine-tune the car's brakes with the trailer's electric brakes. You can pinch slowly to feel the trailer brakes only. Then slowly release, and then you're going to use the plus and minus, those gain buttons, to make an adjustment to that braking feel. I am by no means a trailer or hauling expert, so please make sure to consult an expert in your area for additional information about using a trailer with your LX. And coming down below for our fuel door release and the manual release for the hood. Coming over to headlamp operation, twist the dial down for DRL off, daytime running lights off. Actually, everything off. Twist up for auto, up again for parking lights and daytime running lights, and twist all the way to the top for manual low beam headlight selection. Coming back down to auto or off if you needed to turn them off. Most people prefer to leave them in auto. Automatic high beams are operated by pushing the button on the end. You'll see a green light turn on, letting you know that the high beams are active. Just push the headlamp stalk forward to manually turn on the high beams. Your fog lamps are operated with the toggle. Just click up for fog lamps to come on when the low beam headlights are on, or down for them to remain off. Coming over to the right for windshield wiper operation, the position of the stalk determines the operation mode. Coming up to the top for mist, and they'll drop back down to the off position. Come down one click from off for auto. Once you're in auto, you can adjust the sensitivity of the automatic wipers with the dial. They're the most sensitive at the top, which means it takes less water to activate. Coming down for less sensitivity, and all the way at the bottom, they are the least sensitive. So it would take quite a bit more water to get them to activate. One thing to note, you don't have to try to line up this dash mark with the word auto because you're putting them in the automatic mode and then adjusting the auto sensitivity. So don't worry about that. Bring the stalk down once more for steady low and all the way at the bottom for steady high. High, low, auto, off, one swipe for mist. Coming back to off, click down again to leave them in auto. Make sure you know how to control the windshield wipers so that if you go through a car wash, you can turn them off. The rear wiper is either off, intermittent, or on. Just twist the dial. You'll pull it toward you to spray and clean the front windshield and the headlight washers, and push away for the rear. You'll also have a backup camera lens washer, and it's linked to the rear windshield washer operation. When you activate the rear windshield washer, it's going to automatically clean your backup camera lens. Paddle shifters are located here with upshift on the right and downshift on the left. You can use the paddle shifters in drive or manual mode. On the LX Hybrid, the paddle shifters are really more for engine braking, but on both LX powertrains in the manual mode, you can upshift or downshift for a manual shifting mode. On the LX 600, shift into drive, and then move the shifter to the left to access manual mode. You can now actually upshift or downshift right on the gearbox, or use the paddle shifters. On the LX Hybrid, you're going to shift from drive into manual. This is the only time that you don't actually shift to the left first, because you will have already shifted to the left through neutral to get to drive. So left and down for drive, then straight back for manual mode. And then you can use the paddle shifters. To get back to the automatic drive mode when you've shifted into manual, you don't have to apply the brake. You can do this on the fly. Just move the gear shift back over to the drive position. Now let's talk about the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel. The arrow pad, OK button, and go back button all operate the customizable multi-information display. Let's take a look at how that works. You'll use the arrow pad to move through the different selections that are available. The multi-information display has 3 pages. Page 1, arrow to the right for page 2, arrowing to the right again for page 3, and you can go to the right or to the left. It's just a loop. Each page has 3 customizable zones. In order to customize, just push and hold the OK button. Then you can arrow to the left and make your first selection. The customization process is the same for the LX600 and the LX700H. You're just going to see some slightly different screens in the left and right side menu selection. Most of the items are going to be the same. Just arrow down or up to scroll through all of the available options for that section. You can have a blank screen, arrowing down, fuel economy total average, arrowing down, and there's an eco indicator on the all gas version of the LX, just letting you know that you're driving in a fuel efficient way if you'd like to monitor that. Arrowing down again for driving support, arrow down for navigation. This is going to show a compass. If you select the navigation screen and you have a route programmed into the Lexus Nav or Apple Maps for CarPlay or Google Maps and Android Auto, you'll see the next turn pop up here. If you don't have the navigation screen selected on either the left or right side, then your turn-by-turn will show in or below this center section. Keep in mind your turn-by-turn directions can also show in the head-up display. Arrowing down again, you have an audio screen. Right now the sound system is turned off. If I turn it on, you'll see information about the content that's currently playing, and if I turn it off, the audio screen will appear blank. Arrowing down again for drive information. This is showing average speed. That calculation is going to continue to change as you drive, and total time for this particular drive. Arrowing down for our trailer brake information. This will automatically show data when you plug in a compatible 7-pin connector for a trailer with electric trailer brakes. Arrowing down, you'll see the auxiliary gauges for the battery voltage and oil temperature. Arrowing down to the engine and transmission oil temperature gauge screen. And arrowing down again for boost gauges. The boost gauge screen will look a little bit different depending on the powertrain on your LX. The LX 600 has a large single ring, and the performance hybrid LX 700H has a dual ring, one for the turbo system and one for the hybrid traction battery. Arrowing down again, we're back to the top of that menu at the blank screen option. Now, many of you may already be aware that most of our hybrid models include some type of energy monitor on the multi-information display. But because this LX hybrid is a performance hybrid, they have not included an energy monitor screen. So I'll just arrow down one more time for that fuel economy screen. I'm going to arrow to the right twice. All of the items that were available for our left side customization are also available for the right side. So just make your selection based on whatever information you would rather see, and then arrow to the left to come back to that center screen. You can choose a blank screen, arrow down for a large driving support screen, arrow down again, map 1. This is going to be your Lexus map. Arrow down again for a larger Lexus map view. When you have selected to have the Lexus map show on the multi-information center gauge, when you navigate through Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the map that you see here will temporarily show blank because the phone mapping systems are currently not compatible to show in this view. Mapping in CarPlay and the map showing on the central multi-information display will be blank until you end the route. And then your Lexus map will return. When you've customized your first page on the multi-information display, you need to exit the meter customization. So you're going to press that U-turn or go back arrow. Your selections have been saved. Now you're going to arrow to the right and you're on page 2. Push and hold OK to customize page 2. So you have all of the same selection options. Then if you would like to customize page 3, you can't arrow to the right because that's just going to move you to the right side of this page. So you're going to exit by pushing the go back button, then arrow to the right to come to page 3, then push and hold OK to customize page 3. And when you're all finished, push the go back button to exit and save, and arrow to the right again, and you're back on page 1. Another item that can change how your multi-information display appears is the meter type selection. That happens on your main display. Come to Settings, Vehicle Customize, Meter, and select Meter Type. You'll have Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3. If you choose Type 3 where you're eliminating those rings, you could go ahead, push and hold OK, and come to Map 2 for that larger map display because you're eliminating the rings with that option anyway. Completely up to you, depending on what you like. I really like Meter Type 1 with that large central ring. Just push OK to save. Coming down to the telephone button to answer or end a call. When we press that, it's going to open our phone system on the main display, adjusting the volume up or down for telephone or radio, and your voice command button. When you push and release, you'll be using your Lexus Assistant to operate items on the vehicle. When you push and hold, you'll be using your phone's assistant, either Siri for iPhones or OK Google for Android phones. Coming over to the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel. Our top items are for driving assist features. Your cruise control is basically just ready and waiting so that when you get up to the speed that you'd like to cruise, just press the cruise power button. If you press the button when you are sitting still, it's going to tell you cruise control unavailable, shift into drive. If you've shifted into drive but you don't have your seatbelt on and you press the cruise button, you're going to see this, cruise control unavailable, see owner's manual. I wish it just said, please put your seatbelt on. That's all it means. With your seatbelt on and the vehicle in drive, when you press the cruise control button, you'll see the cruise control icon change from white, which represents the standby mode, to green, letting you know that it's active. Now, right now, we are sitting still going 0 miles per hour, so you'll see waiting and 19. That means once we reach 19 miles per hour, it will hold our speed. So normally, you just want to get up to the speed that you'd like to cruise and then press that button. You can increase or decrease with the plus and minus. The plus button, that's also your resume button. So if you've canceled by pressing the cancel button or by tapping on the brake, you can click resume. You can also change your following distance for radar or adaptive cruise control. There are 4 levels of following distance. This is like creating a buffer zone between you and the vehicle in front of you. Just bring that down until you have the selection that you're most comfortable with. If you'd like to change from adaptive cruise to regular cruise, so regular cruise is speed only, you're in charge of braking. If you push the cruise mode button and you're already actively cruising, it's going to tell you that it's unavailable. Cancel driving assist system before changing mode. The translation of that is turn cruise off. So press your cruise button, get that cruise icon back to white. That's the symbol that has the speedometer gauge, a vehicle representing following distance, and an arrow representing speed. When it's white, then press mode. With the first press, it tells you what mode you're currently in, adaptive cruise mode. Press again, and now regular cruise mode, speed only. So we just see the speedometer icon with the arrow. When you're choosing regular cruise, you must be traveling over 19 miles per hour in order to set. If I push the cruise mode button now, because I'm only going 0, it will tell me it's unavailable, see the owner's manual. To change modes back, just press that cruise mode button. We'll see I'm in cruise control mode, speed only. Press again, and I can choose adaptive cruise, speed, and following distance. Also in this section of the steering wheel, we can turn on or off our lane trace assist feature. Lane trace assist is going to look for lane markers as you drive. They will light up solid. When it's green, that means it's actively recognizing lanes and about to give you a correction. You could have a nudge in the right direction. If you see a yellow-orange color, it is actively correcting you and working to center you in the lane. The most correction will happen when you have adaptive cruise control turned on. Now notice if I push that button and I turn off lane trace assist, I still have some lane monitoring. This is our lane departure alert icon. To turn that off, we would need to go to our main screen. Come to our Vehicle Features menu, select Driving Assist, Lane Departure Alert System. When Lane Departure Alert is turned off, the icon will also turn off on screen. Mode button to toggle you through audio sources, and the arrows on the right-hand side will move you through your saved radio favorites. Moving up, there are two possible rear view mirrors on the LX, the standard optical mirror or the optional digital rear view mirror. You'll see three buttons for home link, garage door, and gate operation. And the button in the center will allow you to turn on or off the auto dimming feature for your rear view mirror. It is an anti-glare feature, so it is going to turn back on automatically the next time you start the vehicle if you've turned it off. Toggle toward you to our digital rear view mirror, home link operation here, including step-by-step instructions about how to pair a garage door motor to the HomeLink system on the mirror. On the right-hand side, you'll see some additional buttons for settings. Press the button with the square to open the settings menu. It will usually default you to the first item on the list. Then you can use the arrow buttons to make customizations to that particular item. Press the button with the square again to move to the next item. It is a big loop, so if you go past what you need, just keep pressing the square button until you get to the item that you want to use. You can adjust brightness, raise or lower the lens view, shift the view to the right or the left, adjust the tilt, zoom, turn on or off the auto dimming feature. If you don't see this icon in the top left corner of your LX digital rear view mirror, that just means the anti-glare feature has been turned off. Press the menu button until you get to the anti-glare icon. Then press the right arrow to select on, and if you don't want to use this feature, press the left arrow to select off, unless it was already off. And you can come to another full set of instructions for HomeLink garage motor pairing. You can even make a language selection for the mirror's settings menu, English, Spanish, or French. After a few seconds of not operating the buttons, the menu will close. If you would like to use a traditional optical rear view mirror, locate the toggle here and then toggle it toward the front of the vehicle. When you're using the optical mirror, you will see the headrests and people if you have people in the back seats. So if you would prefer to have a clear view, toggle toward you for the digital rear view mirror. If you need to adjust the mirror, the housing is pretty substantial. I recommend using two hands. Also note that the mirror does not have touchscreen operation, so just make sure to use the buttons below so that you keep your mirror nice and clean. Coming up to the controls on the ceiling, we also have a glasses storage case, touch-operated dome lights, or push the button to turn all the dome lights on or off, or push the door mode button so that they will automatically turn on when you open a door. You can open or close the moonroof and tilt the back of the moonroof up or down. The close button will close the glass. You can manually close the shade. The SOS button is located behind this door. Your Safety Connect system comes with a complimentary trial period with your new vehicle, and that will be set up when we set up our driver profile. If you need roadside or emergency assistance, open the door and push the button to speak to an operator. The LX has a motion sensor that's built into the alarm system. Turn the vehicle off, then press the button and you'll see theft sensor turned off. For more details about how the theft sensor operates, make sure to consult your owner's manual. It is about movement of the vehicle and inside the vehicle when the vehicle is off and locked. You can press the button again and you'll turn that theft sensor back on. Most people choose to leave that turned on. At the front of the dash near the windshield, you'll see the alarm light. When it's flashing, that means the vehicle is unlocked. When it lights solid, the vehicle is locked. Right nearby, you'll see the sensor for the automatic headlights. That's what lets the vehicle know when it's time to turn the headlights on when you have them in auto mode. It also controls the automatic switching from day mode to night mode for your main display. Coming down, we're going to finish reviewing our vehicle features menu. To learn more about all of the other Lexus interface features, make sure to check out that deep dive tutorial. Let's press the vehicle icon. This is where we came before to look at some of our driving assist features. But notice at the top it says seat controls. Select to open and you'll see the word massage. Select massage and then you'll be able to tap the seat that you would like to turn the massage feature on for. There are 5 different types of massage, and you'll see a graphic on the display giving you an idea of the flow of that massage. You can also choose just upper body, lower body, or even just isolate lumbar. It's completely up to you. You can power it off or on, and the massage will run for about 15 minutes and then time out. You can also increase the intensity or decrease the intensity. To turn on the massage for the other seat, select Massage in blue with the left-facing arrow, then tap the word Massage and tap the other seat. Make sure to note that the passenger side massage feature won't operate without a passenger in the seat. Once you have a passenger, you can turn the massage feature on for the passenger side seat. We'll press Massage to go back, Vehicle to come back to the main vehicle features menu, and then come down to Driving Assist. This is where you can quickly and easily turn off or on all of the safety features that you see on screen. When you turn a feature off, it's going to be black and white. When it's on, it's highlighted in blue. Lane departure alert. We've already reviewed the lane departure alert system. Intuitive parking assist, those are your parking sensors on the front and rear bumper. Parking support brake is the auto braking feature that works in conjunction with the parking sensors and your rear cross traffic alert. So if the system is giving you a warning, letting you know that you need to slow down or stop, if you don't stop, parking support brake will apply the brake for you. If you're towing or have an accessory mount or bike rack that does not have a compatible 7-pin connector, make sure to come here to turn off Park Assist and Parking Support Brake. And with a compatible 7-pin connector plugged in, they'll usually turn off for you automatically. And then when you detach your trailer, you can come back and turn them on again. Blind spot monitor lights up in your side mirrors when a vehicle is detected in your blind spot. If you have your blinker on, it's going to flash. Safe Exit Assist. When Safe Exit Assist is turned on, the sensors on the vehicle are looking for traffic moving alongside your parked vehicle. If traffic is detected, you'll hear the message, "Watch for traffic." This system is able to be active for up to 3 minutes after the vehicle has been turned off. Rear Cross Traffic Alert looks for vehicles or objects crossing at the rear of your LX when you're in reverse. Rear Camera Detection is looking for pedestrians at the rear of the vehicle when you're in reverse. Proactive Driving Assist, which is currently turned off, when it's turned on, it tries to keep you from coming up too quickly behind someone, but it also is looking out on the sides of the vehicle. So you may experience this in a parking lot. It will apply slight braking pressure even if you're accelerating. When you're using adaptive cruise control, proactive driving assist will be temporarily disabled because you're establishing your speed and a following distance with the cruise control system. Once you've canceled cruise, proactive driving assist will automatically come back on. You'll see that little bubble icon on the right-hand side. Road Sign Assist uses the camera system to look for speed limit signs and right-of-way signs. That information will show on the multi-information display as well as the head-up display, depending on the settings that you've chosen for your head-up display. The pre-collision system is designed to help mitigate an accident, but if an accident is unavoidable, it will also help to pre-tension the seatbelts, prime the brakes, basically prepare the cabin to try to reduce the severity. It will even assist with emergency braking pressure. It is possible to turn pre-collision off. I do not recommend that, however, and if you do turn it off, it will turn back on automatically when you turn the vehicle off and back on. When a safety feature is turned off, you may see the icon representing that safety feature turn off on your instrument panel. Lane departure alert off and on. Or you may see a specific icon show up. For example, if you turn the parking sensors off, you'll see this icon letting you know that Park Assist has been turned off. Parking Assist back on and the icon goes away. Or you could see a large message and this icon. This is the generic icon that shows when a variety of different safety features are turned off. Since there are a lot of icons on cars these days, just know that for Lexus, if the icon is showing white, then it's on or on in a standby mode. If it's green, it's on and active. If it's orange, it's either off or it's in a state of warning and correction. And just select Vehicle in blue with the blue left-facing arrow to go back to our main Vehicle Features menu. Then select Trip Information. You can view current trip data, clear the data, or view historic data. You can also clear and update here. Selecting Vehicle to go back. When you open your tire pressure monitor screen, all tires on the vehicle, your 4 main tires and the spare tire located in the rear underneath your LX. Selecting Vehicle Alerts, if you have service-related messages, they will appear here. Tap the Settings gear to come to our main Settings menu. I review all of the settings information in the multi-information display deep dive, but I do want you to come down to Vehicle Customize and then select Head Up Display so that you can adjust the brightness, choose your HUD mode, full, standard, or minimal, depending on how much or how little information you'd like to view in your head-up display. And if you would like to raise or lower or even adjust slightly the angle of tilt for the display screen. Just use the up and down arrows to raise or lower, and the left and right arrows to adjust the tilt angle. The tilt adjustment is very slight, and keep in mind that the head-up display is only visible to the driver. If you make a change to your head-up display position, make sure to resave your driver position memory because your seat, steering wheel, outside mirrors, and head-up display position are all saved with the driver position memory. And you can tap any icon in your Lexus interface menu to come back to the screen that you would like to see. Let's come down to our utility screen. It's also touch operational, and you use it to control additional climate settings, off-roading features, and it has its own settings screen. You can even turn it completely off. To turn it back on, touch the screen, and then it tells you, touch to turn screen on. Just touch right on that message to turn your display back on. You can adjust the contrast and brightness for this screen, customize additional settings. The automatic screen change, you can turn that off, allowing that screen to stay open, or you can customize that automatic screen change time from 20 seconds, which is the default, to 1 or 5 minutes. This means if I'm in the settings screen and I don't take any action for 20 seconds, it's going to revert back to a main screen. The SW sensitivity level, this just stands for the screen operation sensitivity level. 1 is the lowest sensitivity and 3 is the highest. Software information is listed here. Push and go back. Let's take a look at the climate control system. Most of the climate control buttons are located here. Manual controls to close or open the vents. When you're on the front climate control screen on your utility display, you'll have driver temperature selection, warmer or cooler, and passenger temperature selection, warmer or cooler. Notice that when you operate the passenger temperature, you turn off sync mode. When you turn sync mode on, it's going to sync to one temperature throughout the entire vehicle. When you're on the rear climate screen, the temperature selectors operate rear climate. Right side passenger, left side passenger. We have auto for fan speed, turn the fan off, or control the fan speed manually on the front screen. Slide or tap, more fan, less fan. You can also control the driver's airflow mode independently from the passenger airflow mode. If the defogger is triggered, you're going to see that turn on for both sides. Otherwise, with sync turned off, you can have different airflow front and rear. If you'd like to select sync, you're going to sync the entire vehicle to one temperature, the temperature selected for the driver's temperature. And notice our airflow mode also syncs up. And even our fan speed. Front defrost or defogger, it's going to take over certain controls in order to use that front defrost or defogger. Rear window and side view mirror defrost or defogger. Recirculating air or outside air, or let the LX choose based on the vehicle speed and the smog sensor located on the vehicle. Windshield wiper de-icer, on or off, and climate concierge, putting everything in auto mode based on the temperature that you've selected and the outside temperature. That means it's going to adjust fan speed, airflow mode, the heated and ventilated seats, and even the heated steering wheel to more accurately maintain your selected cabin temperature. If you'd like to turn Climate Concierge off, it's kind of like auto. Once you turn it on, you don't push the button again to turn it off. You take over by adjusting the fan speed, airflow mode, and taking over selection for heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and even the controls for the passenger side, if that's been selected. I know it sounds like a lot of things to have to turn off, but what that lets you know is that you can have a much more highly customized setup, allowing some things to operate automatically and others to operate manually. A lot of people like to turn on Climate Concierge and allow everything to remain in auto mode except the fan speed. It's completely up to you. Notice that we aren't able to turn on or adjust our seat climate or steering climate from the utility screen. Remember our tip, if it has an outline around it, then you can control it. It's clickable on screen. But without an outline, it's not clickable. So we just need to come down and use our buttons to operate our seat and steering climate on the lower center console. There are 3 levels of heat and fan and an auto mode. The first press of either the fan or the heat will turn on auto mode. Just press again to take over. High, medium, and low. Press one more time to turn that off. The fan works in the same way. First press, auto. Second press, high, medium, low, off. Same thing on the passenger side. Steering wheel heat has an auto mode as well, and 2 levels of heat. Just press until you have the setting the way you'd like it. Additional climate control operation happens on the utility screen. AC compressor on, off, or auto. Coming to options, we can allow the air conditioning compressor to operate in an eco heat and cool mode. That will depend on the type of climate that you live in. You may or may not want to allow that, completely up to you. S-Flow is like a smart flow. If you turn S-Flow on, airflow is focused primarily on the driver or driver in front passenger. That means the vehicle is trying to determine whether or not you have additional passengers. If you would like airflow throughout the entire cabin, make sure that S-Flow is turned off. Otherwise, the system will cancel airflow to unoccupied passenger seats. After a few seconds, that screen will clear. Notice that when you are on the 4-wheel drive utility screen, you still have your primary controls for climate control along the bottom of the screen. So it's always very easily accessed. And your hazard lights are right in the middle for easy access in an emergency. Let's take a look at our other off-roading and 4-wheel drive capabilities. Any item that has a highlight around it is clickable. So you'll notice the brake and accelerator readout is not clickable, but the G-force monitor is. If you click on it, it gives you an option to clear the monitor records. You can also select the word clear to get the same option. Just press go back or let the message fade out. You can turn off or on the easy access mode. That's what lowers the vehicle when you turn the vehicle off. making it easier to get in and out of the LX. If you open a door during that movement, it is going to stop, and then when you close the doors, it will finish the adjustment. You'll see the easy access icon on the dash. You can turn off the adaptive height control. If the adaptive height control has been turned off, you'll see the word off here by the height status icon. Moving along the lower center console, if your vehicle has adaptive height control, it will be raised or lowered with these buttons. Use the utility display to view the operation. We are currently in the lowest position, adaptive height control selected to low. If we push the button to raise the height, you'll see it flash and you'll see an indication of the position adjust. Your adaptive height control setting status is seen here, as well as on the multi-information display. You can also see the nose of the vehicle adjust. Sometimes people are not aware of the movement at all. It is very smooth. If you're outside the vehicle, it's a little more obvious, especially in the high modes. High 1 and high 2. Giving you the most possible ground clearance. Keep in mind that the height adjustments also are speed sensitive, so this is really more about driving at low speed under off-road conditions on rugged terrain. Some of these adjustments will also happen automatically when you're driving on the freeway. At normal freeway driving speeds, the vehicle is going to make adjustments for better aerodynamics, for fuel economy, and a quieter ride. Coming back down to normal and even down to low. And coming down to our remaining functions. The four-wheel drive features are controlled with the soft buttons on the utility screen, hard buttons and dials on the center stack, and additional buttons on the lower center console. Let's take a look. The mode selector dial is a multitasking dial. It operates whichever one of these items is actively selected and turned on. Multi-terrain select, drive mode, or downhill assist control, or crawl control. Under most normal driving conditions, you'll be in high 4 with the drive mode feature turned on. Notice the light for drive mode. We're going to use our mode selector dial. You can turn the dial to select either Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport S, Sport S Plus, or Custom. You'll see the drive mode name in a few places. Here on the multi-information display, here on the utility screen, and you'll see a drop-down message with the drive mode name on your main screen. The only drive mode that does not show as a drop-down message or on the multi-information display is the normal drive mode, but you will see it on the utility screen. To set custom drive modes, you'll use settings on the main screen, allowing you to customize the powertrain, power, normal, or eco, the suspension from sport, normal, or comfort, the steering feel from sport to normal, and even the air conditioning system, eco or normal. Once you've made your selections, they'll be saved to the custom mode, drive mode setting. You can also use multi-terrain select in high 4. If we activate multi-terrain select, you'll see the modes available for multi-terrain select. There are different modes available in high 4 compared to low 4. You'll have an icon here letting you know which mode you're in. Right now, we are in the auto mode. Your mode information is going to show up on the multi-information display and on the utility screen. To change modes in Multi-Terrain Select, just use your Mode Select dial. You can twist the dial and change from Auto mode to Dirt, Sand, Mud, or Deep Snow. You'll see the graphics change on the multi-information display and on the utility screen. You'll see all kinds of adjustments with different safety features that are turned off or on based on the type of terrain you're selecting, and the ride height will also adjust. To put the LX in low 4 for more extreme off-roading conditions, apply the brake, shift into neutral, then press the bezel in and turn to the left. If you try to change the mode from high 4 to low 4 or back again, and you're not in neutral, listen to what happens. It gives you an alert. Make sure to apply the brake, shift into neutral, and then you can access low 4. You'll have additional terrains available, and you will have engaged your multi-terrain monitor. You'll have messages about systems being turned off. You can clear those just by pressing that Go Back button. And you'll see lots of icons that are indicating safety features that have been temporarily turned off because we are in low 4. Now we can turn our mode select dial and we can choose sand, mud, or rock. If you have chosen to be in low 4, you will not be able to choose the drive mode selector because you are going to be driving at lower speeds using the multi-terrain select feature. Also in low 4, you can turn on crawl control. Apply the brake, shift into drive, press the downhill assist crawl control button. When you press the button to turn on crawl control, it will deactivate the multi-terrain select feature. When you activate crawl control, the mode select dial is selecting a speed, but you can only go about 5 or so miles per hour in crawl control. It is very slow and your whole focus is on steering. Just push the button again to turn off crawl control, and you'll see crawl deactivated, and multi-terrain select will re-engage. Downhill assist control is a setting that's available in high 4. To come back to high 4, apply the brake, shift to neutral, press and turn to the right to engage high 4, and then you can engage downhill assist control, shift back into drive to use downhill assist control. When downhill assist is turned on, the mode selector will adjust your speed. Just turn the dial and you can go from about 2 miles an hour to about 18 miles per hour. You can just keep twisting that dial until you have the speed that you prefer to assist on long descents. To turn off multi-terrain select, we can just press the drive mode button, come back to our normal drive modes, use that dial to choose whichever mode you prefer. When you turn on multi-terrain select in high 4, or you access the low 4-wheel drive system, you'll see a slightly different screen. This is our multi-terrain select monitor. We have our menu on the left. You have additional ground clearance visuals. You'll see the running boards on the right and left-hand side, and you'll see different markers for the front. See how we have where our wheels are pointing? Those are our yellow lines, always associated with our wheels and direction. But when we get closer to a full turn, on either direction, we see that blue line change to show the arc of your intended path. Your backup camera in multi-terrain select mode also shows the running boards, those side angles, so you can really navigate your terrain. That is customizable with our menu on the left-hand side. Clicking through all of our backup camera view line options and shortcutting back to settings. So our menus are very similar and they're all on the left-hand side. Clicking the X to close, toggling through our different view options. That takes us through to a front wheel view, our view that includes the straight ahead view and our running boards. You can also press that hard button, that view monitor button, to toggle you through the same selection. So it's just like clicking the soft button on screen or the X to close. Again, just toggling through either with the view monitor button or the buttons on screen. Our front view and our dual side view, and this is that under view that you're seeing now. We're also, under certain circumstances, able to access an under rear view mode. That's only going to be accessible at certain times. Otherwise, it will appear grayed out, as you see here. When you're in motion, you're able to select the under rear view. Then just press go back. Once it's been accessed, then you'll be able to continue to click on it. But if it goes gray, then that just means you need to move the vehicle forward a little bit or forward and back until you're able to access that under rear view icon. Now we have in drive our under rear view and the side views on both sides of the LX. And this would be in the forward position. Right now it looks like we're driving over a black surface. That's just because there's not enough images that it could stitch together because we're doing this inside the shop. Notice that it's grayed out again. We've been sitting still a little too long. So you would just move the vehicle a bit and then you'll see the icon be accessible. Shifting into drive, and we're currently on that under the vehicle see-through mode for the front of the vehicle. So these are our front wheels. If we start to drive, it looks like we can see through the bottom of the LX. It's just stitching images together, but that's our front view. If we would like to access the rear undercarriage view, we need to select that icon, and then we're able to look underneath. It's common. Sometimes you may see black rectangle sections. That just means that there weren't images to stitch together at that time. Now, I am backing up, so I may want to clear out of that since I know I am coming up against a wall. It would continue to beep at me if necessary. I'll show you how that works. So that's what it looks like if you're getting a parking sensor warning while you're in the rear undercarriage view. Just click to zoom in or back out on that main central image. You can also do that moving forward. So in the undercarriage view, moving forward, we could click to zoom in or out. In reverse, we have a number of different backup camera views for the multi-terrain select monitor. Just click to select the view that you prefer. Coming down to that rear undercarriage view, press the arrow to go back, and then you can make the customizations to the backup camera lines for multi-terrain select. Notice that you can customize the backup camera lines for multi-terrain select view and the drive mode backup camera view independently of one another. Turning off multi-terrain select, vehicle levels out to the normal drive height, and our monitor goes back to our normal drive mode view. And coming down below, we have a 12-volt accessory charger behind this door. Just snap it shut when you don't need it. And we have 2 USB-C chargers on the right-hand side. This port is for charging only with the battery icon, and this port will charge and support data, which means you can do tethered Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. There is also a wireless charging pad on the lower console. Just place your compatible phone on the charger, and as long as your phone and case are compatible, you'll see the charger engage. Our seat climate buttons are here. You also have the heated steering wheel button. If your LX has the advanced park system, you'll see the advanced park button located here. With your seatbelt on and the vehicle in drive, just press the advanced park button to activate the system. Let's take a look at some video from another tutorial that I have for advanced park so you can see how this operates. I recommend that you first practice with no other cars around, just so you can get the hang of it. So let's come up and find a parking spot. You can line up the door with the spot that you would like to park in. I could park here or here. If you're not quite sure where the spot is, don't worry, because when you press the advanced park button, the system is going to look for spots for you. Right now, it's seeing that there's kind of a large space because I am using 3 empty spots, but I can change, rather than parallel parking, I can tell the vehicle that I would like to perpendicular park, and I want this spot. I also can tell the vehicle if I want to go in forward or backward. So right now it's going to say start forward. That is not where you select for the vehicle to park forward or backward. That's actually here. So you're going to click on this box and you'll see the ghosted image, the example of what it's going to look like when we're parked in that spot, switch from heading in to backing in, and you'll see the back of the vehicle with an arrow facing toward the back of the parking spot. So if you wanted to go in forward, just make sure that this symbol shows the front of the vehicle or the back of the vehicle. So let's back into this parking spot. I'm going to click start. It's put my blinker on for me, and it's telling me release the brake to move. It's also telling me moving forward. That means it is going to move the vehicle forward to position itself. So you do want to make sure that no one is around. I don't have to handle the wheel. It's going to do it for me. I don't even have my foot applying the brake. I have my foot hovering over the brake. If I apply the brake, it will cancel the advanced park command. So the purple box is where it's aiming. The yellow dynamic lines are showing me the intended path. Advanced park finished. I don't know about you, but that's pretty awesome. It gives us a full 360 overview just so that we can make sure that the area is clear, and it's put the TX into park. And now it's done. If we want to use advanced park to leave a parking place, we can do that as well. You're going to apply the brake, push the advanced park button, and then you need to choose. Do you want to go forward, to the left or the right, or do you want to back up to the left or the right? Well, here's where you definitely want driver participation, because I know that there is a grassy area behind me and there's a parking lot in front of me. So guess what? I want to go forward, and I think I would like to turn to the left. So I'm going to select exit to the left and forward. It is going to show me an example of my selection, and then I will click start. I need to release the brake. It's going to move forward, and then it's going to pause, and it's going to tell me press the brake pedal Check the path for safety. This means I need to actively look around, make sure it's all clear. Then I can release the brake and the wheel, and it will take over. Here we go. And once it's done and it needs me, it says you can exit by moving the steering wheel. What that means is I can exit the advanced park feature. It's already exited me from the parking spot. So it just is kind of a convoluted way of saying take over, start driving, start driving. All right, now that we know how to use advanced park, let's park between two vehicles. And I just want to line up, again, I like to line up the door with the spot that I've chosen. And my foot's on the brake, I'm in drive. I'm going to press the advanced park button. It does see the parking spot that I want. So if it was not selected, I could select it. I would like to reverse into the spot and I will click start. Keep in mind, there are vehicles near me, there are cars on either side, there is a light post, there is a big concrete pole, so there's a lot to avoid. We're going to get a lot of warnings, and if I'm not comfortable, I can always stop by applying the brake. So I'm going to take my foot off the brake and I'm going to let the vehicle start its maneuver. Really close. This is a tight parking area and a large vehicle. If this makes you nervous, don't do it. And we're done. And it did apply the brakes a little harshly because it did see that pole that is behind us. So we can release the brake if we would like to move. It can continue to realign, or we can just put our vehicle into park and it will tell us that the shift position was changed to park, advanced park, cancel. You can also parallel park. So let's come to a spot. It sees the spot. It even visualizes the vehicle in that spot. Press start and follow the directions. Release the brake. It's going to adjust. It's going to move forward. And then it will begin parallel parking for us. Okay, wow. Very cool. Done. Oh, I love this feature. There are some other settings and options available. Right now I'm in park, and when I press the advanced park button, you'll be able to see some settings on the left-hand side. The top item is if you have remote park. Remote park is a capability on some vehicles that allows you to remote park from the Lexus app. You do need to be the primary driver or signed in as the primary driver, and you will be within about 10 feet of the vehicle, so it's not something you can do at a far distance, and you can follow the steps on your phone and it'll take you through and guide you to be able to park either parallel or perpendicular, and you can choose to go forward or reverse when you select a remote park method. We'll click cancel to come back to our other view. You can register a parking space if the lines aren't clearly identified. You're going to select the P with the plus symbol, and you're going to tell the vehicle, is it a perpendicular spot that you're assigning, or is it a parallel spot? I'm going to choose parallel. I'm going to tell it it's on the left-hand side. There are two kind of strange parallel parking spots that are available in this parking lot, and these spots were not parking places originally. So they have a lot of different lines, and under normal circumstances, it's not as easy for the system to identify it as a parking place. So I'm going to say okay, and now I'm going to follow the directions. So is this the spot I'm aiming for? Yes, it is. You see all those lines all over the place. But notice that's a little bit at an angle, so I can actually adjust my spot a tiny bit. So I can straighten it up and I can nudge it a little bit in either the forward direction, backward. I can also move it within the box. So line it up how you would like. You can press reset if you need to, and then click OK. We are going to save this. So now it's saying check the parking place. So I'm registering this as spot number 1. You have 3 different spots. I'm going to click start, and let's just double check and make sure it's doing what we want. I'll remove my foot from the brake. I'm going to let it do this parking maneuver. And then if this were my spot where I parked every day, my vehicle would be able to remember that. So this is, again, a very untraditional spot. Now, it could be that at home you have some parking places in an open driveway. They would not be marked. So you could set up a registered parking spot there. It's just not able to do it in an enclosed space. So now we can confirm the registration. Do we like where we are? Do we need to adjust it anymore? If not, we can click register. So we're making sure the space is free of any obstacles. We have it aligned where we want, and parking space 1 has been saved and registered. So now if I'd like to use that registered spot, I'm just going to approach the parking area and then start the advanced park feature, and I've got my spot right here, and it even knows where it is. So I can just select the spot that I've saved if I have more than one, and then I could also choose start. If you'd like to delete registered parking places, just activate Advanced Park, come to Settings. Notice that we are immediately defaulted to our Advanced Park settings. And if we scroll to the bottom of our settings menu, we can clear registered parking spaces. Just select, and we can tell it we would like to clear space 1. And just click yes to confirm. And now all 3 of the registered parking places are available again. Coming back to the Advanced Park Settings menu, you'll see that you can turn Remote Park off or leave it on. You can also adjust the speed for fast, standard, or slow. The detection range, standard or far, so how much do you want it to look around for a space. You can choose a default parking method, so perpendicular or parallel, just depending on what you are going to do most. Then you can choose your default direction for parking. Are you preferring to reverse in or go forward into a space? You can also choose if you would like to typically exit to the left or the right when you have parked perpendicular. And you can do the same if you have parallel parked, left or right, and then you'll click OK after you've made your selection. For the parking view, you can choose the normal view or the wide view. And the exit view can also be customized, normal or wide. And then you have some additional adjustments that you can make based on where you typically park. So just click on the item, and for the parking path, you can make an adjustment if you want to be more inward or out, And keep in mind that midway point is the standard. So it just depends on how you typically approach a parking spot and how your parking spots are set up. And if you're not sure what something is, click on the question mark. So when the tire size has changed since a vehicle was purchased, if you are used to advanced park, you may need to make an adjustment. You can also make an adjustment based on road width, standard, slightly more narrow, or narrow. And if you have registered a parking space, you can make this change for that particular saved spot as well. You can make an adjustment for how far you want the vehicle to move forward or back into a spot. So if you'd like to be more centered in a spot, or if you'd like to pull more forward, it's completely up to you. Press OK when you're ready, and then you'll do the same thing if you're reversing into a spot. Would you like to be more forward in the space or more toward the back of the parking space? Pressing OK, and we can check the rear accessory setting. So if you have an accessory mount on the back of your vehicle, you do want to consider that if you're backing into a parking space. So you can increase up to 40 centimeters, and you'll even see the little example of that here. Just click until you have it where you want it. If you don't have an accessory mount or trailer hitch on the back of the vehicle, just minus all the way to the end until it says none, and then select OK. And our last item was to clear those registered parking places. Coming back to settings, or click the X to close. If I decide to cancel at any time, I can apply the brake and then click cancel. I can also apply the brake and just completely take over, shift into gear, and then ignore all of the information on the screen, and then it will just clear and I can just begin my drive again. So you can always cancel the advanced park maneuver at any time. Let's come back to the buttons on the lower console. We have the new electronic shifter. Keep in mind that advanced park and the electronic shifter are currently only on the LX hybrid model. You're just going to follow the arrows, always shifting to the left through neutral first. So we'll apply the brake and shift left and up and let it go, and we're in reverse. Left and down, let it go, and we're in drive. To shift into neutral, just press left and hold for about 2 seconds, and you'll see the N for neutral light up in green. If you've shifted into neutral to go through a car wash, in order to shift back into drive at the end of the car wash, just reapply the brake and then shift left and down, and you're back in drive. If you are wanting to use manual, you're going to shift from drive into manual. This is the only time that you don't actually shift to the left first, because you will have already shifted to the left through neutral to get to drive. So left and down for drive, then straight back for manual mode. To get back to the automatic drive mode when you've shifted into manual, you don't have to apply the brake. You can do this on the fly. Just shift left and down, and you're back in the automatic drive mode. As a best practice, when you're finished with your drive, put the vehicle in park before turning the vehicle off. If you do turn the LX off before putting it in park, don't worry, the LX Hybrid will shift into park automatically for you. The all-gas LX600 has the traditional shifter, but all LXs have an electronic parking brake. So let's come down to these buttons on the lower center console. We have the automatic electronic parking brake. When your emergency or parking brake is set to auto, so you go into park, it applies your parking brake. You'll see the word park in red of your dash. It can be operated manually. Just apply the brake, push and release the button, and you'll see that the parking brake has been turned off, but it's still operating in the automatic mode. If you want to take over manual control of the parking brake, push and hold the button down until you see this message about the automatic mode function being deactivated. If you've done that and you'd like to manually turn the parking brake on, just lift up on the button. You'll hear the parking brake engage and see the word park on the right-hand side. Lift up on the button and hold. Electronic parking brake automatic mode function activated. All that means is it's linked to your shifter. Shift out of park and it turns off. Shift back or press P for park and it is automatically turned back on. Brake hold holds the foot brake for you. With your seat belt on, press the hold button. When you see the icon in green, it's active and ready. When you're in drive and you've come to a complete stop and you see the word hold in gold, that means you can remove your foot from the brake and the system will hold the brake for you. It will time out after just a little while and it will let you know you need to reapply the brake. If you don't, it will shift the vehicle automatically into park. Then you'll need to reapply the brake in order to shift into gear. To turn off brake hold, just press the button. To engage the center differential lock button, press the button. You can activate the center differential lock in high 4 or low 4. Some LX models have 2 additional differential lock buttons located here between the steering column and the center stack. These are the front and rear differential lock buttons. You have to be in low 4. Shift into neutral, push and twist to the left to select low 4. Now we are going to lock the center differential. So I'm just going to press the center differential lock button. You'll see that light up on the left-hand side. Once you've locked the center differential, then you can lock the front, just press the button, or the rear. Normally, you would not lock all of them. You try the center differential first, then if your wheels are slipping in the front, you lock the front differential. And if the rear wheels are spinning, you would lock the rear differential. So seeing them all locked like this is purely for demonstration purposes. It's also important to know that sometimes you might see a ride height adjustment icon or a differential lock icon repeatedly flash. That means that particular process isn't complete yet. Sometimes you can shift from neutral to park or park back to neutral, or you may need to just drive a little bit. Usually just a few feet forward or a few feet back will do the trick. It can take a little while if it has not been used recently. Once it's complete, the icon will stop flashing. Just press again to turn off any of the differential locks that you no longer need. Shift back into neutral and reselect high 4 for your normal day-to-day driving. You can turn traction control off by pressing the button and you'll see the traction control turned off message here. Just press again to turn it back on. You can adjust the ride height of the vehicle up or down with these buttons. Coming over to the center console that can be opened from the driver's side, the front passenger side, and even the second row. We have a cool box that you can turn on. You'll hear the fan. It's not a refrigerator, it is a cool box, and it operates off of the air conditioning system in the vehicle. So it won't operate when the car is turned off. So keep that in mind when you're putting items inside. It does have a removable small top tray. The small little cubby can slide back and forth, and it has felted edges so that it doesn't scratch the exterior surface. And let's come up for the last few details in the glove box. If your vehicle has crossbars, you'll also see the tool for adjusting the crossbars. And you should have your gigantic owner's manuals inside. So a lot of our glove compartments used to have a little shelf here. This is actually now a little, like a little bowl, basically. So you could even place these things down inside if you want, once you know that you have them. You can also remove this. So it's a little bit tricky. It's not that hard. But first thing to do, you want to lift up, and it's going to unsnap from the bottom. And then you're going to pull the right side toward you. The left side, you actually need to push away a little bit. And that's because it has this larger hook across the bottom. And that's the only one. The other hook is a small hook on the side. And then these are the two main prongs that attach at the back. So you've got this nice little cubby feature. This is pretty cool. So if you want to use that, great. You're going to put it back in place by putting this lower hook in first. So just nest that in and then push forward to snap it in and make sure it's nice and secure, and you're all set. So when you're ready, put everything back. Owner's manuals can sit right on top of that little cubby space, and close her up. If you valet park your vehicle, you can lock the glove box. Locate the mechanical key inside the key fob. Using the mechanical key in the key cylinder, turn it to the left to unlock and open the glove box, and to the right to lock the glove box. Keep the mechanical key with you and give the key fob to the valet. When you're ready to restore the mechanical key to the key fob, just make sure to insert until you hear a click. Thank you so much for stopping by the Lexus Virtual Classroom today. I hope you enjoyed the deep dive, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can be notified when I have technology videos for your Lexus. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you next time. We still have our jack storage on the driver's side of the vehicle. Oh my God, these things are so hard to open.